Congratulations on the win. For those who don't know, Gabe got a decision victory on the down and dirty four card. I know you've been getting accustomed to getting quick knockouts, but how was it having to, really think your way through a fight? And how was your experience of the fight as a whole?
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I think everybody expects a knockout, um, and I think kind of getting used to it. That's kind of what you want to do going in. But this fight, I kind of knew my opponent, so I knew he wasn't going to go out easy. So I knew I was going to have a long 6 rounds, and it felt good to get him in. You know what I mean? That was the kind of fight I wanted. Um, in my hometown to show that I'm a real fighter. I can fight real competition, strong competition, and win.
So, what did you feel like was like the hurdle you had to overcome in this one? Because it's somebody like him, he knows you, so he knows some of your moves, some of your tricks. What did you feel like was like the biggest challenge of the fight?
Honestly, most of it's all mental. I think that's the biggest challenge in fighting period. But I think especially for this one, 100%. Just I knew him. We're buddies. Our gym, even though we're buddies, our gym has a little rivalry against each other. So there's a lot behind it that was stuck into my head. You know what I mean? And their camp was trying to get into my head the whole time, so I really had to try to stay focused. And I think that was the hardest thing about this whole experience was just mentally, and then having it be the first professional fight in my hometown in I don't
Yeah.
know 15 20 years. So I mean it was a lot. It was a lot to take on, honestly. And I actually had a talk with a coach after one of my sparring sessions. He'll know who it is. I'm not going to drop names, but he said to me, the only person that you have to prove you can do this is yourself. And I thought about that for at least that whole week. You know what I mean? So I mean, yeah, that was like the hardest thing to do. Fighting a friend, all that. It all plays the crowd. Still like a big factor because it was the main event. And you don't really get main events if it's professional fight. So it was kind of a big deal.
That's a huge deal, bro. I don't even think I
Yeah,
realized that you were the main event of that card. That's incredible, man.
yeah. It was awesome. It was a crazy experience. I don't think there's anything I can go through now that will psych me out. Mentally after that.
Do you feel like it was an experience that kind of elevates your game as a whole? Just kind of like you got thrown into the water and you had to swim, and fortunately, you
Well,
swam?
yeah. I mean, not only was it an experience mentally, but it was also a big learning experience for me too. I mean, that wasn't an easy fight. I didn't expect it to be an easy fight at all, but I mean, I definitely could have made it a lot easier than it was. Uh, I just, like I said, it's all mental.
I think a lot of times fans think of fighters as like you take a bunch of stats, like a video game. You take a bunch of stats, you plug it in, and it's like they have this much power, this much strength. But it's like
Right,
you guys aren't robots. So
right.
for you, what percentage of it is like just literally building your body up, and then what percentage of it is just like I got to get this right? You know what I'm saying? To make sure that I know what I'm doing in there.
I mean, a lot of it for me is mental. Um, so I'm probably gonna say 80% mental, and the rest, you know what I mean, is all just grind, your dedication, just everything else that comes into it. But 80% mental, 100%. Um, I think once you can overcome that, I think your talent can show more in the ring. You know what I mean? Because you're not thinking about it. Especially with me, when I think too much, with anything I do, you know what I mean? Even at work, if I'm thinking too much and something simple, it's just go. Like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't that hard to do, but the mental aspect. Once you get a hold of that, I feel like it's just gonna be smooth sailing depending on your ability, obviously.
I think like a perfect example of what you're talking about is one of the undercard fights from last weekend, Julian Williams fought. And I years ago was like, yo, J Rock's got the goods, man. Like
Yeah,
he can do it all. And the truth is
yeah,
he can. But sometimes when I'm watching him, I feel like he's just thinking too hard or he's trying
yep,
too hard. Like he's just putting too much thought into every move where he's like half a second late. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? So
Yep, yep.
that's that mental part of the game where if you can overcome that part, then your talent, shines through.
Can shine through, right? Exactly.
So how was the rest of the card?
I got to enjoy probably the first 10 fights because my partner Luke fought 10th. And
Right.
I think there was a total of 14 fights on the card. So after his fight, I went in and kind of focused up. But I mean, the first 10 fights, they were good fights. It was nothing like the local fights that have been going on. These were all competitive. Everyone I talked to or anybody that's came to all my fights, they always say like the level of competition at this show was you can't beat it. You know what I mean? People are excited, and those are the type of fights people want to see. You know what I mean? People don't want to see one-sided fights. You know what I'm saying? That gets boring. People want to see people bang out. So and there was a lot of that. You know what I mean? There was a few upsets. Um, the show was a great show.
You get to see my man Chris.
I did. I
He's
did.
good,
He
right?
yeah, that kid can fight. Yep.
He's a talented
Uh
guy.
I that whole everything kind of before my fight was kind of a blur. I was just kind of,
Yeah, I'm sure.
you know what I mean, kind of focusing. But yeah, I mean, I can't say nothing bad about the show. It was awesome.
That's crazy, bro. Do you know if you have anything coming up?
So I don't I think we're looking for January.
I mean,
So sometime January. I don't know. I haven't really talked to the promoter, the team yet, but we're gonna take the holidays, kind of chill and then still work out obviously, but kind of get focused back to it January.
it's a quick turnaround, bro. But that's what you've been looking
Yeah, I
for.
mean next year we're looking to hit it hard. So we're gonna get right on top of it as soon as the new year comes. I cut my hair. See
Oh
that?
shit.
Yeah. So, I'm trying to start a new year, hopefully get out of this mental aspect that I've been going through. I feel like I always go through it every sport. I always go through a slump and I just have to, take a step back and kind of focus up on everything. um and it was kind of the worst time to have a slump uh during the main event. It was a crazy fight, you know what I mean? We were both going back and forth. I definitely think my forward pressure um, won me the fight 100%. I was stuck in my head mentally and I wasn't moving my feet the way I should. Uh, and after sitting back and watching the fight, I 100% agree that I won that fight, but I wasn't doing, how you can do something, but when you're watching it, it's just like, like, you know what I mean? Why am I doing that? You know what I mean? So I'm trying to sit back and study myself, kind of go back to the basics and, brushing up my game. So the next time that I go in there, I really wow the crowd. I think I wowed them with um, the balls that I have. I think we both did because it was a war. But I want to show my game. I don't want to show like where I could be. I know I have the talent. I'm not even showing my talent in the ring, and I'm already, making people happy. So once I know what I can do, I'll never get on this show and tell you that. I was happy with, my last fight ever. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Not until, I win a world championship belt. But yeah, I'll just I think I'm my hardest critic. Um
Yeah, I was gonna say, what makes you, or what about the fight made you feel like you're in a slump?
it's not only that fight period, just even like weeks before, like I haven't been sparring the way I can fight. I haven't been using my feet at all. My main trainer, who was my dad, I didn't have him most of this camp because this camp I was just focused on basically cutting weight because I haven't been 130 ever. I don't even remember the last time I was 130 pounds. I didn't even know if I could do it. But the way, things were kind of lined up, it was like in order to get him on a fight, he wanted to be on the card. So the promoter said, we have the only person close to him we have is Morales, and their team was like, we'll take it. So I was just, and then I got the call, and I was like, all right, fuck it, I'll take it too. That's kind of perfect. That's, I know the type of fighter Kevin is. I know what he can bring to the table. You know what I mean? That type of fight is what I wanted. You know what I mean? I'm not. I wasn't backing down. I didn't want no fight that I was just gonna walk through the dude and look good. You know what I mean? I wanted that. I wanted that bang out. You know what I mean? I wanted to show everybody that I can sit there with somebody who knows how to fight and knows how to bang, someone like Kevin Style. So yeah, I mean it was perfect. But
Do
I
you think
just
it's
wasn't I
possible?
wasn't moving. I wasn't moving and I just haven't been moving the way I know that I can. That's basically it.
Do you think it's at all possible that some of that's from being getting down to 130?
Yeah, 100%. I think that weight cut killed me because I wasn't, like I said, I didn't have my trainer, my main trainer that whole time because he was at work in Florida. He drives trucks, so they were doing emergency calls in Florida when they had that storm. um, so I was just focused on cutting weight. I was running a lot, you know what I mean, doing a lot of cardio. And the cardio ended up winning me the fight, you know what I'm saying? Because I had way more gas than him at the end. Um, but I think that kind of drained me like, definitely mentally and 100% physically.
Is getting down to 130, is that something you think you just need to, like, I'm trying to figure out how to put this, something you need to figure how to manage so that it's easier to get down to, or is that just maybe
Yeah,
your weight?
yeah, that's definitely something that I need to learn how not learn how to manage, but gradually manage. You know what I mean? Because my body's I've come to realize my body's just it gets used to being smaller and smaller and smaller because I used to weigh 185 pounds at
Right.
one point. You know what I'm saying? So once I get to one point, I'll stay at that weight for a little bit, and then my body will get used to losing that weight, and then I'll get to another point, and then I'll stay there, and it'll just keep going down and down and down. So right now I'm at like I walk around 145 easy all day. I can walk around 145. I can drop 8 to 10 pounds easy, but 15 pounds is a different story. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I did it. I came in 129.4 or something like that. And when I heard that, I was just like, wow. I was like, I need to eat. I was like, let's go.
How have you felt like since the fight?
I feel great. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I've been eating, so I'm probably 140 now. So, and even right now at 140, I feel fast. I feel strong. I've been moving around a lot more. You know what I'm saying with my feet. I know what I have to do. It's just, it's just all a mental game. You know what I mean? And figuring it out. Um, setting up my shots a little better, coming in, not being so heavy footed, just using my feet. That's the one bad thing about having that knockout power, and knowing you have that knockout power is that you always want to use it.
Right.
But
It's always a
I'm
bailout.
yeah, right. I'm starting to learn that not everything has to be a power shot. You know what I'm saying? You can tap, 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 boom, and then let's set up your shot. So, to me, I'm still green. So I'm still learning as I'm going. And I think just the more I learn, the more dangerous I'm going to be to people. I think that's why everybody around me is kind of nervous, and it is what it is.
Yeah, bro. And I think that's like because you're green, like in a sense, you're also finding your fighting weight still. You know what I'm saying? So you're seeing what works. How low can I go? How much can I maintain a size advantage while keeping the explosiveness and all that? You know what I mean?
Right. I feel like I fight best when I'm like 138, 140 pounds. So if I can weigh in at 135, I'll be fine. And making that 135 weight cake, I can do that in my sleep. So I think that's where I'm going to be focused on a little bit more. I don't think I'm going to do 130, not until at least the summertime, where it's easier to keep the weight off me.
Or if you got like the Oscar Valdez offer.
Right, or like you said, or it's the big offer. You know what I'm saying? And I'm ready to take it 100%.